Okay guys, so got the servo mounted, got a horn and all mounted up, all trimmed up, zip tie the servo wire a little bit. I just still gotta figure out the best way to run it. It might not be long enough. Since the servo is upgraded, I noticed there's a little bit twisting going on in the mount. Right, with a torque motor now. Now I tightened the screws on the servo mount as much as I can. I think it's just really the flex of the whole front. I cranked down the end point a little bit to 90% because at 100% this guy was torquing, was moving around quite a bit. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure what else I can tighten down here. Yeah, that thing's just flexing. I mean, the little two poles on the differential that's holding the servo mount up, they're fairly thin, so I mean it's gonna create a lot of flex. I'm able to tighten the back screw. I didn't get a chance to tighten the front two screws, but I don't think it's gonna help too much. The whole thing is flexing. I already mounted the servo. I don't want to have to undo everything. But when I get a new servo mount, I will try to tighten it a little bit, but yeah, as you can see, it does flex quite a bit. That sucks. But, oh well, I'll live with that for now. Now, the other discovery I have is, it turned out the ESC that came with the truck, if you watch my video earlier, I got this truck off of eBay. It's probably a returned truck. The seller said either the ESC or the receiver is bad. I thought it was the ESC because I hooked it up to a known working receiver and the throttle didn't work. But now I got the Rat Cat motor here. It turned out that it does work. So kind of sucks that I spent an extra 20 bucks to buy this guy, but it's not, I mean, something like this I can keep around. And it took me quite a bit of effort to scrape up all the mounting tape. They use these cheap type of foam mounting tape, and it's a pain in the butt to get off. So that took me a while to clean it up. I didn't actually have to remove it, but that means I actually got to replace the motor. Now I could try to, I don't have another brush ESC. I could open that guy up and try if, no, it can't be, if it didn't work before, so it must be the motor, right? Let me plug it back in and just to verify that one more time. Bam. Right. Positive. Negative. Oh, what the heck? It works now? What is going on? That is strange, man. I literally spent all night trying to figure out which piece was not working. I mean, is it really because of the battery? I was using this battery and oh, maybe it is because it had enough to power the servo, but it didn't have enough to power the throttle. Oh man, this is stupid. So I went through all this effort to, wait for the electronics. It turned out it does work. Well, alright, that's kind of my fault, but again, I'll keep this guy around. I will eventually try to upgrade that motor, but let me try to run with this guy for a little bit and see how it works, how it performs. So I'm gonna try to finish up here. Again, I'm gonna try to build a little bit of accessory. I ordered some oil tanks. They'll come in. I'm still trying to pick out a the not bracket. I'm sorry, the rack. Either the roof rack or a rack for the truck bed there. I have some idea. Maybe I want to run a couple of just horizontal bars. I might try to build something myself, or but I don't know. I'll see. I definitely gotta decorate the body a little bit, but I just want to get this guy running first, and then I can worry about adding stuff to my to the truck. All right. Hey guys. So I'm been spending a little bit more time on the Barrage here. Kind of look around to the stuff that I had laying around. I know I got some stuff I can use on this truck, especially from the 1/18th scale rucks that I have that I bought years ago. So first thing I found in my old stash is people do say that this needs a little bit more preload on the shocks. Gets a little bit too bouncy. And the shocks being so close together, you're gonna get a lot of roll. And the Barrage didn't come with any spacers, but I looked through, like I said, dug through my old stash here. I did find some shock clips, preloads that I could use for the skinny shocks here. I think they'll fit. Yep, I think so. These are very thin, so I'll probably have to put 2 or 3 on each. I got 12 here, so 3 on each shock, so that'll be good. Another thing is, though I showed you that I removed the one of the 2 braces underneath the battery tray here, so that I can get a little bit more shock travel. So now I only have 1 screw holding down the battery tray. This does swivel around a little bit. I'm not sure what I want to do. I can try some zip tie, or I might swap the battery tray with the ESC slash receiver tray. Reason being, this plate here is held on by 2 screws horizontally, that runs on from side to side. So I only need 1 or 2 braces to hold this plate, while I need 2 to hold the battery. And actually, if you look at the FTX version of this, FTX Outback, I believe they have the battery tray in the back, the ESC up front. For the Barrage, they moved it up front so that you get a little bit more weight in the front of the vehicle, so to keep the front end down as you're crawling and climbing. I don't know. I might swap it. Just it just doesn't feel right. It's only 1 screw holding this down, and I mean the ESC. It's not that light. It's fairly heavy. The battery is still heavier than the ESC, but it's not that big of a difference. So I might end up doing it, and also running wire wise, I think it's better because my servo wire barely reaches it. I don't want this to be hanging like this. I want to run it by the rails, but it's not going to reach. So it will benefit me if I just swap the battery tray with the ESC tray, so I may do that. So that's that. People on YouTube have shown me that I've seen some videos of people moving the shocks outboard of the chassis rail. Again, these shocks stock, they're very close to each other, and they're not going to perform as well. So I might follow what they do. They just kind of remove this piece, bolt it either on the where is it? Jeez, I lost it. The body post. You have to trim it a little bit. For me, I'm going to trim it a little bit more and just mount this on the other side of the shock mount. So it will stick out like this. I need to find a longer screw for a shock mount, and you also need some spacers. So spacers wise, the screws that hold the bottom eyelet to the chassis is a 2mm M2 screws. I've got some M2.5 wheel nuts laying around, so I can use them as spacers. Probably 2 or 3 of them, maybe 3. So give me the proper length. You do need a longer screws. These are very small screws, right? M2, it's hard to find. M2 screws that are long. And I did remember that I bought a set of spare screws for my Ruckus way back. Hardware, not just screws. So I'm looking around. I know they must have something that I can use. This looks decent, right? I think I need. This might be a self-tapping though. Is it tapping? Maybe not. This might be a little bit too long. Maybe not. Maybe slightly shorter. I also have some Fatera 1/14 scale screws that I could use. Just looking around, see what I can find. That doesn't work. These are too short. And geez, I only have one of these. I mean, this will work, but only in this kit there's only one of them, so that's not gonna work. I got these here. Shoulder screw. I don't know if it's gonna fit through that. Looks a little wider than 2mm in the shoulder part. If that does fit through, this might work. These two here. Just looking around my Fatera screw kits here. I think most of them are either M3 or M2.5. I doubt there are any. Let me put this down here. Look around and see if there's any M2 screws here. Looks that this might be it. This might even be 1.5. These are so thin. Yeah, probably not gonna have any here that will work. Nope. You know, I have a lot of screws. Bought a lot of stainless steel screws over the years. I have pretty much almost all the sizes and lengths. It's just that I don't have a lot of M2s. Those are not too common, even on the 1/18th scale. There's only a M25 is more common for 18th scale. Going to, before I cut this open, these two might be the only one that will fit. I want to measure how wide this is. 2.8, so it's an M3 up there. So it's not going to fit through. It's not going to fit through the hole. The hole is, I'm pretty sure, is this hole here. Pretty sure it's less than, yeah, it's barely a 2mm opening there. So that's, these are not going to work. This will probably work, but again, there's only one of them. I wonder why. That sucks. So I might have to actually gotta go buy some screws, which I don't mind. No, screws you can always use. Yeah, I don't have anything. I thought I might have something here that I could use, but not really. Okay, that's fine. But at least I found the spacers. Oh, and this is spare parts for my Ruckus. So I do have a couple of these 25 turn motor 380 size that will the stock one is 370. These are 380. I think they will fit. Also, besides that 390 motor that I bought there, I could also look into this 25 turn. Should have a little bit more torque. But we'll see how the stock one goes. Yeah, so other than that, what have I done in the last couple of days? I just built this, got some twine, picked up some branch, cut it down, so put this on the bed of my truck. Well, There's some ropes here. Looks pretty ugly, and it's not really that scale if the branches are, the logs are this big. These ropes are way too big, so I might not even use the rope, so just use this. But yeah, it's been pretty fun. Just not doing any major mods, just doing the small things here and there. Yeah, it's a fairly simple truck to work on. Like I said, this is my first true crawler, and I was still able to tingle around without really screwing anything up. One thing I do remember, when I removed this brace, just keep in mind that I forgot to screw this back on, so I just did that. With the brace gone, you need a nut in the back to hold the screws here. I don't think this is the end of the world if you don't just leave that out, because this is pretty solid even with just one side screw down. But just for completeness, screw that back in if you plan on doing what I'm doing. Yeah, other than that, still got to do the back, fill the shocks, trim the bump stops there. I want to get the front done first though. Yeah, so maybe this modification of putting a shock outboard might have to wait until I get the screws in. Alright, that's update. Hopefully I get this guy ready soon, so I can start running this. Hey guys, so still working on my Barrage, and I had some upgrade parts arriving today, and the only thing that I really wanted was really the servo mounts. These are the FTX Outback, which is really a same truck, just with a different body. They're sold in the UK and probably other places. They do share, as I'm not too sure, but they do share majority of the parts. And there are some subtle differences between the Barrage and the Outback. But anyway, on the Outback they do have a couple upgrades. They have an aluminum plate, servo plate, which is different than the Barrage. I think this guy extends out a little bit more versus this guy. This guy's a little bit smaller, I believe. Yeah, this guy's so no, this is a key, right? So you see how yesterday I did the spacers in here just so I can push the servo forward a little bit to avoid the rubbing in the back with the shocks. But I'm going to mount these guys up. I got two versions of it, one with the plastic servo mount, the other with the aluminum servo mount. Probably use the aluminum one, and so I don't have to rely on the spacers here. And with the aluminum should have a little bit less flex. I did notice when I do end-to-end turns here, the servo does kind of move a little bit. I wonder if the aluminum plate is going to help the flexing there. Also, I got the aluminum steering knuckle for the Outback, and yes, it's a direct fit. Looks like some pivot ball. Just I don't know. This is like $1.50 or something like that. So I just want to buy some just in case I need the pivot balls for the shocks. And I picked up a LED bar, 24 LED bar. I believe it mounts right over the front of the body, and it's got a mounting arm here that runs. Looks like it will run down here on the pillar here. I'll see how it looks. For the price, it's not too bad. Most LED bars that you can see on eBay, they're the good, better ones are $15–20. And this guy I think was 12 or 13 British pounds, which is 15–16 bucks. But it has a lot of LEDs on it compared to the ones I've seen on eBay. It's got 24 LEDs, and this should be very, very bright. So anyway, just want to show you what I got in the mail today. Like I said, I'm still working on the Barrage to get it ready for the first run. I'll try to install some of these things soon. So